What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the first episode in the what I'm going to call Generative Python Transformers. So, as many of you guys probably know, the GPT model and transformers in general are very good at natural language. And one of the things that I did a very long time ago, back then, was with, I believe it was LSTMs, was can we make Python learn to write convincing Python code? And the answer was, at a quick glance, yes, you could, but this code would not actually run. It was not valid code in any way. So now the question would be, could we use transformers to do so? Because we definitely know transformers have a much, much deeper understanding of language, more so than, say, an LSTM network structure can. And then we also know that transformers can take into context very, very long context. So we're talking 1,000, 2,000 plus tokens of context. So a token in most cases is going to be a substring of a word. So, like access token, it's probably going to be, ACK S talk N, right? So access token becomes 4 unique tokens, let's say. Anyway, don't want to get too deep into the weeds on that right now, but so access token wouldn't be like one token, but you would be able to go back historically probably hundreds of words of code, and so you're much more likely to write coherent code, I think. Not really sure, but it is something I'm curious about. So step one to solving this problem, or just experimenting with this problem, is to get a lot of Python files. So the first order of business is, and just as a quick side note, if you're not aware, there is Chat with Char, which is Charlotte, which is one of the latest chatbots using the Dilo GPT model. So go there, follow, talk to her. You can DM her. Just understand, I can see the DMs. It's my account, so. Let's keep it PG. Let's not creep out me. Okay. Anyway, so coming over to search. So just as an example, we have just of the Python programming language, there are 1.2 million repository results. So when we go to train a model, like a transformer model, we have to decide, any model, you have to decide what is your input, what is your output. We already know the input to this style of model is going to be these encoded tokens. Now, and those encoded tokens will map to strings or substrings of text, usually substrings of words, like I just showed with like access token, for example. So that's going to be the input. So the input, you can think of it as, we're going to literally input code. It's just going to be encoded code. The output, it's unclear. What do we actually want this model to output? So there's a few things that we can do. We can either, you can input, you can input your code up to a specific line, like right before a line break, and then have the model predict the next line of code. You could have the model predict every time you type in a full word, or even begin typing at all, it just continuously predicts the next word, or the next maybe 3-5 tokens, something like that. You could have it predict, let's say you could do like subword, then up to the next line, or even you could have it predict the next maybe block of code even. So there's a ton of stuff that we can do, but no matter what we decide we want to do there, that's just going to be trial and error, figure out what works. No matter what we decide we want to do, we need a lot of code, and there's no better place for GitHub code or for Python code that I could think of than GitHub. And so we have 1.2 million, and that would mean that we would, in theory, be able to input, like if there's hundreds, like I say, we input a line and then a line with context and then expect some output. We should, in theory, be able to have probably hundreds of samples per Python repository that we find. Some of these repositories are going to be very simple, I'm sure. And then some are going to be, extensive and probably have not hundreds, but probably thousands. So we're at least looking at like 100 million plus is just a quick low end estimate. My guess is there's probably more like a billion. It's probably a huge number. So regardless, we need a lot of Python code. So the first step is to get it off of GitHub. And then the only other tab I have here is I couldn't decide how I was going to clone these. And I've never done like a git clone into a different directory than what you're calling git clone in, but apparently you can just have a folder name and that works. So that was the only other tab that I got open for us. So let's get back over here. So basically on GitHub, I left a couple of notes. You can go to github.com/settings/tokens to get a token. It's unclear to me if you actually need tokens to use the search API. I don't think you probably do. And the only reason I'm going to be using this PyGitHub, the only reason we're doing that as opposed to just curl the API URL is for pagination. So we want to be able to easily paginate. We could code in the pagination, obviously. I just don't feel like it. So anyway, we're going to use PyGitHub, but you could do this with some other language and get by. So once we have, and this just basically confirms that I have the user, I just copy and pasted the token into token.txt so I don't have to worry about accidentally showing my token. So, so the way that this works is essentially all you have to do, and I am going to take something from the docs here. You can query now GitHub with the following. So you can say result equals G for, and this is just that GitHub API, search repositories, and then you have a query. Now the query can be a whole bunch of things. In our case, what we want probably is to say, and I believe it's like language : so we would want maybe language : Python. So then you get a result, and like literally that's all we're going to query. We're just looking for anything in the language of Python. We could get way more specific if we wanted to, and later on you probably will want to. So again, it doesn't really matter what our end objective is. Right now, we just want a lot of Python code to train the model, and then you would probably fine-tune that model to Flask or Django or TensorFlow or PyTorch and get it very, very specific, because chances are those specific libraries have things that are very unique to them. So like, for example, if you're working with Flask, probably many of your functions are actually going to have decorators in front of them, whereas the average Python code, does it have a decorator before each function? No. So yeah, things are going to vary by, what specific use case you're using them in. So, and my guess is the transformer, you could train a transformer to know, to recognize, is this Django code, is this Flask code, and so on. It's unlikely out of the gate that it will do that really well, but who knows? So, so we have our query, we have our result, and then this gives us like an object. I want to say we can just, let's go ahead and print result. Let's just make sure this works. Right, so what we get is this like paginated list object. So I think what I can say is result, let's print dir result. If we have to, I'll check the documentation, but so total count. So maybe that's one thing that we want to check out. So we could say print result dot what is it, total count, print result dot total count 1,000. So so one of the first things that we're going to have a problem with is, right, this should be like 1.2 million, not 1,000. But no surprise, the API is not going to return to us easily 1.2 million, 1.2 million results. Now what we can do, I want to say we can iterate over this, and I believe it handles the pagination for us. So for repository in result, print dir, let's just get print dir repository. We'll do one quick break. Oh my gosh, did I really do that? Oh man, that's embarrassing. Okay, so then this gives us a bunch of the, so we'd probably want the git URL so we could grab it. So for example, let's do print f git.url, and that's what we'll do to git clone subscribers. Let's see if there's anything else I really want quickly here. Probably not. I mean, that's probably all we need right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and make sure that works. Oops. Man. What was it? Git underscore URL? I already forgot what the answer or that was. Man, my brain's not working today, huh? Repository dot git URL. I don't remember if it was git underscore URL. I guess it was. Right. So github.com. So that's our Git URL. So we could either grab it from that or we could get it from... Oh, what we actually really want is probably the clone URL. Because we're going to... Really? What would be the difference between the dunder, that like internal, and then the regular? I don't know. That's a great question. Great question, Harrison. Let's see. Let's stop doing this. We'll keep the total result because I'm curious. Save, print that out. I thought we... Okay, so I guess it's some sort of object still, and then we have this. So then we could grab it from there. Okay, so anyway, awesome. So now, so the first problem that we have, besides, so we got the URLs now, the next problem that we have is our query is just way too big. So I did some poking around prior to this because I knew this was going to be a problem. And essentially we can do quite a few things to the query here. So first off, wonder if I still have the... No. Well, anyway, you in the search query, you have options such as you can come here and so besides obviously, you know, your query is going to contain things like, and you could do the same thing in the search bar on the website, I'm pretty sure. So you've got things like, you know, what are you looking for? So say you could do Django space, and then you could say my brain is fried today for some reason, Python. And then finally, you can say created, and this can be a whole bunch of things. You could say it's created, and then it's like year, month, day. So you could say 2021. So this would be created after 2021, 0401. So created after April 1st, 2021. You can also do, which is what we're going to do, a range. So we're going to say 2021 to 2021, 0402. Now, there might be some days where you have 1,000, and that's okay. We'll just have to sacrifice some. I don't think we can go deeper, like into the hours, minutes, seconds. I don't think that's an option. So let's go ahead and we'll comment that out. I think we'll just go forward with this query right here. That's fine. Oh my gosh. Seriously? There's 458 Django? Is that serious? Did we do something wrong? I'm having a hard time believing there's 458 Django repositories in a single day. But okay, let's cheat. Oh, dang it. Oh, okay. I think I really thought that was going to be totally acceptable. I'm kind of surprised that I'm surprised how... God, am I doing something wrong here? Result, query, language, Python. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Language, Python. Let's go PyOpenGL. We got to do something that... Okay, thank God. we need something that is like super rarely used, apparently. So let's switch to... So this will be about a year. Okay, so in a year, we get 9. I wanted to make sure that logic is working. Okay, so it is working. We're just... Oh my God. Created as the project was created. So we're not even talking about... You could also search like modified and all these other things, but I can't believe that there's 1,000 Django projects a day. What about Flask? Let's go back to 2021. Flask is a little less popular. There we go. Cool. Okay. So then if we do a whole month of Flask, what do we get? 1,000. Okay. I just want to make sure this logic is working before we go too deep. Okay. So now what I want to do is, where are we working? So, okay. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to cycle through the dates. So let's go copy pasta to, and we're going to say, and if, yeah, I just want to, testing date cycle. I just want something to test something in real quick. So we're going to import time. We're going to import date time. And I think that's everything we need. So we're going to say start. Actually, we'll say end time equals time.time. And let me come over here and yeah, give me yeah, we'll take this. Whoops. We'll make this an F string, and then this becomes created. So this will be, we'll call it start time. I know it doesn't exist yet. It will momentarily. End time. So then start time will be time. Actually, will be end time minus 86,400. That's the number of seconds in a day. Okay. Now, we need to convert these to their respective date time objects, and I don't have that memorized. Actually, what we need to do from date time, import date time. And the thing that we want here is this, copy, paste. So, start time, end time. And then start time, end time. I guess we'll do, I'm trying to think here now. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. We would say like start time string equals this start time. Then we'll do the exact same thing for the end time string. End time string. And then we will do end time minus equals 86,400, start time minus equals 86,400. And then finally, for I in range, let's just do like 5 of these. Tab this over. Do this, cut that, come here, pasta. Actually, we need to do this underneath here. And what we want to say is we will do start time string, end time string. Run that. Oh, query. Dummy. Cool. So what this gives us is, and today is, at least when I'm recording this, April 10th, which it might be a long time before y'all see this. The reason why videos are being like dated back is I can't share the fact that I have the DGX station. So soon though, soon in a few days, videos will start flowing. Okay, so what we have is we've got April 10th here. So basically, we're going to search the range of April 9th to April 10th, and then the next search will be April 8th to April 9th, and so on. So that's how we're going to get around this 1,000 limit. So that gives us, one a day. So 350,000 searches a year, provided we don't hit some error with GitHub. I mean, that's totally possible that they're gonna throttle us. Well, we'll see what happens when we get there. They shouldn't. I mean, I think these are pretty light requests, but who knows? I've been dealing with the Twitter API. Did I mention chat with Shar? Anyway, yeah, the Twitter API. Ugh, I hate that API. It's so restrictive. Anyway, coming back over here. So what we're going to do is, we'll take this, come over here. We're going to import this. We need to grab these starting values. Copy, pasta, query. So this is the stuff that will be in our loop. And I'm going to do my best to break things so we're not like going crazy on the on the API too fast. Because I'm pretty sure every pageant... What have I done? Hopefully I didn't screw up my recording. I'm pretty sure every pagination is like a new call, because you're going to say it's going to give you page 1, then you're going to say, okay, give me page 2 now. So every single pagination is a call, and I forget how many items are actually on each page, probably 100 to 200. So in that case, every call is going to be a new API call. And yeah, so I just want to make sure we don't wind up getting banned. So coming back over here, so we've got our start end time, and then we build the query. So we'll just do this, copy, paste, and let's just do 2, and we'll do 3. And so that gives us our query. We don't need that. We're going to cut that. We're going to go over here, block that out. And then we're just going to comment this out for now and just see if this works. So we'll get a total count. And again, I don't want to search. Well, I guess we could leave Flask just so we can see the different numbers. Okay, cool. Wow, that's fast. We're totally going to get banned. Okay, so maybe we'll institute some weights or something. I don't know. So now that we have that, we can then I think we're going to run that in a terminal rather than Sublime Text. It's probably start getting kind of laggy. Python 3.1 beginning.py. Didn't we ask to iterate? Did I not ask to iterate? Oh, no, we do. Oh, I just said 1 and then break. Cool. It's there. You blind boy. There it is. Okay, so once we've done that, there's one more possible thing we might want to do. Do we print? Are we still printing dir repository? No. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. So, as an expert at building data sets, one of the regrets that you usually have is not collecting all of the data you could possibly need, and then regretting it later. So, what we want to check for, is there something like tags maybe? Tags URL? I'm not sure what that means. Like what is it called? Like if we go to, let's just go to a repo. So all algorithms implemented in Python. Yeah, I kind of want to grab these tags. These are tags, right? Or maybe topics? Let's see if either of those things show up here. So you got tags there. There is no topics. I'm just going to, let's grab the tags. So the reason why I want to do this is later, if you wanted to become very specific into using TensorFlow or Django or whatever, this is so you don't have to go back and rerun all this code for like some very specific task. You would already have it. Let's just see what it looks like. But tag URL, see, like everybody has like many tags. So I don't think that's going to work. Let's just run this real quick in here. Really? What was I just looking at then, fool? Hold on, let's see here. I think it was right here, yeah. What was this? Oh, tags URL. What is... I'm not sure. We're probably gonna leave that behind for now. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything like super obvious here as far as that, and unless we start hitting like throttling things, I'm not gonna worry about it. It looks like we can pull pretty quickly. And really, it's the transfer learn and the fine tune. Like this, you won't need nearly as much data. You probably don't even have to go, throughout all of time to get it. Okay, so now the last thing that we'll do is let's see if this works. We'll call it repos. I think that's fine. And then finally, moment of truth, import OS. I don't actually know if there's like a great way using this GitHub API to just clone the repo. It would be nice. Can we? Let's see. Repository? For repository. We are printing dir repository, right? That's what this is. Can we just clone it? Clone URL. I don't see clone. I mean, that would be like a really obvious like .clone and then you'd specify the path. Right? Like that would be... Maybe get download? I don't think so, though. Why would not that be a thing in whatever? GitHub? I have to Google this. There's just I'm having a really... I'll use OS to do it, but let's see. PyGithub clone? I don't know what to call it. Create, clone, and push to GitHub. I'm not sure what pygit2 is. That's not what I wanted. Okay, well, let's just do the OS call. I think that'll be fine. Import OS, we'll come down here, os.system, and we're gonna run git clone. I think we can get away with an F string here, git clone, and then it is the repository.clone URL. And then finally, we want it in repos, right? Repos. I don't think it's going to work, but let's see what happens. Good luck, everybody. Repos already exist, and it's not... I see. I already know what happened. So this is probably just the base code. Yeah. Why? Why you do that to me? Okay, so... We could just do repos / and then the name. That would be acceptable. Does this have... Do we already... I can't even remember. Are we already printing out the name? Not yet. I'm sure there's a name attribute here. Name. Cool. So we'll do that. So first we will delete repos there. Hopefully we don't have to like make this directory either. We're going to find that out quickly. So it'll be repos / and then repository.name. That's where we want it to go. So we'll go ahead and run that, save, redo it. Whoops. Please work. What? Are y'all all called... Man. So, okay, it has to be the name / I guess. And I mean, that makes sense. Why is this doing it twice? It almost looks like for the same... Like, these two are... Okay, we'll do author and then the name. We're still going to have an error with that one author, which is super frustrating, but that's okay. So surely there is author here. Surely I said. What? How is there not author? How about user? Oh my gosh. Okay, owner. Now repos, repository, so it'll be repos slash owner slash repository name. Okay, let's try that again. So we come over here. Oh. Repository dot owner. Where? I lost my terminal. It's gone. It's gone forever. There's no finding it again. Python 3.1 beginning. Oh, we got syntax. Are you kidding me? Why? Who's the Flask Python language? So we got repos. Nothing got created. Repos slash repository owner. Wonder if that's like a URL or something. Print repository dot owner. Why are you guys doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Owner, so maybe owner.login maybe is going to be the name of the game then. Login. Whoops. Yes. So owner, and then we'll say dot login. Save that. Bring this back. Just work. Okay. Please. I don't like it. Let's see. App.py. Looking good. Repos, this one. Cool. Okay. So these are just Flask, obviously. But we're off to a decent start. So the next thing I would do is, we would just remove Flask. So we would do that. And then save that. Maybe every day you might consider sleeping. It might be wise. It's unclear to me how heavy-handed GitHub's going to be. Eventually, I guess I'll find out. But yeah, so here we go. We're going to just clone 1,000. So we'll see what happens if we're hitting any errors. I mean, I'm not seeing anything bad yet. Eventually, we're surely going to get smacked by... whoops, I'm not in the right... Where are we? Repos. I mean, we are beginning quite the collection here. So I'm just going to keep building this collection. This is only 3 days worth, but it'll be 3,000 repositories unless we're already kicked off. No, just doing stuff. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. I'll just see how much I can pull, and I'll let you know if they throttle me. From there, probably in the next video, I guess, we'll do probably the dataset building. So it would be like an OS walk through the repos directory, through every single Python file, and then build the dataset that way. I'll spend some time kind of trying to consider how I want the very first rendition of this to go, because it's either the next word or maybe finish the line of code most likely that's going to be the most successful. So I don't know. I'll have to think on it, how I'll build the data set. Like most language models with transformers, in general, you can train it to just predict the very next word, and then from there transfer to a whole bunch of other tasks. Or you could have it finish the sentence or predict the next sentence. It doesn't really matter all that much what the initial trained task is. You're just simply training it, and it's, they're referred to as unsupervised language models because they just kind of figure it out, and then from there you can transfer it to do all kinds of things like question answering, or like a chatbot example that we have, or even regression. You can do everything. So anyway, it looks like we're doing fine. I thought maybe if I talked long enough we'd get smacked by GitHub, but it doesn't appear like we have been. So cool. So that's all for now. If you've got questions, comments, suggestions, concerns, whatever, feel free to leave those below. Again, if you want to talk to our latest Transformer chatbot, it's literally twitter.com/chatwithshar. Go try to break the code. Anyways, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in another video.